Connect already. Greetings, everyone. How's it going? And welcome to another YouTube Live here on the YouTubes. Live with me, Zarin Izarak, in the virtual flesh. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Zarin Izarak McLean, the man himself, is in the house. Long, woo, what up, Sean A. Is that a good reading? Is that very heartfelt? Greetings to Adrian James, Kevin McQuarrie, Sanity Impaired Toastman, Crolatin. I was beginning to wonder if any of my mods were going to show up. And a special thank you to Bradshaw's Studio for the super chat right off the bat. Look at that. We're already at 0.67% of our goal. Woohoo! Yeah! All right. So once again, seeing. Oh, I should fix the view count. Hold on, it's set to Twitch. There's nobody on Twitch right now, not even me. There we go. Hey, look, that's where all the people are. YouTube. Hello, the YouTube. What the fuck? Goddamn emotes. What? What's going on? What's going on? And greetings, Austin. What's going on with the emotes? Oh, that's one of the things we wanted to test, actually, was supposedly Better Twitch TV allows for emotes here. I don't know if there's still something I need to activate. Yeah, okay, just get out of my face. Oh my god, all you fucking pop-ups. Get out of my face. I just want to turn the damn emotes on. Yes, we did. So where are they? Oh, Better Twitch TV settings. Hold on, maybe. No, that doesn't seem to. Emotes, yeah, about here, no. Here, oh my god, just get out of my. Why does everything take me to another screen? Why can't you just have all of the settings on one screen? Hey, JL, $5 super chat. Look at that. A YouTube live stream, Kappa. Yes, fill this out. You could win a Porsche. Yeah, I know. Well, it wasn't that. It was just I haven't been on the YouTube live control screen like ever. So as soon as I went there to adjust some settings, I got a million pop-ups. Did you know you could do this? Did you know you could do this? You know you could do this, right? You could do this and this and this. And I don't care. I just want to turn on Better Twitch TV emotes. Let me see. YouTube. Holy guacamole. Another $3. Already at 6%. Look at that, guys. Look at that. We may hit our goal today. Don't leave it all up to JL, though. Come on, guys. Let's see a few others drop a buck or two into the pot. Don't have to break the bank. It all adds up. Whoa, what the hell happened with the chat there? Did you see that? It just went like... I have no idea what's going on. Rosie is good. Rosie has a job. She got a job just today. She had an interview the other day and got all set up today, so she's gainfully employed once again, and looking forward to having bajillions of dollars. Hello. Speaking of Rosie, how's it going, Rosie? You have a noodle on your chest. Did you just put it on the floor?
No, the Rubbermaid.
Okay. Employed again. Hopefully it'll last more than a month this time. Each one you have lasts progressively longer. The first one was like
6 hours.
6 hours. The next one was like a month. So maybe this one will be 2 or 3 months. Yeah, so.
I mean, at the least, it'll probably be 2 or 3 months.
What is work, JL asks. Yes. You'll see that on the screen momentarily. Are you censored? You're censored.
Who, me?
Yeah, the bar was right across your eyes. Yes. You got the Friday night 4K Blu-ray. Oh yeah, I forgot that they did one, or Fright Night. It's not Friday night, Fright Night. Yeah, I'd like to get that because I've missed out on like every single Blu-ray release that they've ever done of Fright Night. What I want to know is where the hell is Fright Night 2? I don't know why, but the Fright Night movies, even the remake. Wow, that took forever. Get your shit together, YouTube. Come on. I don't know what it is about Fright Night in particular, and this goes for the remakes as well, is they always seem to go out of print very quickly and then are impossible to find if they get released at all. And it's like, sort it out. Rights limbo. Oh, that's great. I hate it when shit like that happens. We just want our spoopy movies. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out these damn emotes. And yeah, we've talked about the Dead Space remake quite a bit over on Twitch. This is why you guys need to come to Twitch. But nobody ever does. Everybody just waits for me to stream here. Anyway, yes, obviously. I mean, of course I've looked at the Dead Space remake. Of course. Like, since the second it was announced, I've been keeping tabs on that. I, too, would have preferred a sequel. However, I mean, it's been 14 years since the first one came out. So, I can kind of understand why they're doing this, is to kind of revitalize interest in the franchise and bring it up to date for a more modern audience. To put this in perspective, when the first one came out, Rosie was 1. Does that make you feel old? Makes me feel old. So I can kind of understand that. So what I'm basically urging all my fellow Dead Space fans is support this release. For the love of fuck, support this release, because if this remake does well, maybe we'll get a sequel down the line, and maybe they'll see that there's still life left in this franchise, and it's worth pursuing further. So the big problem, of course, is they really dropped the ball with the third one. A lot of people didn't like that one. I thought it was okay. I thought it had a decent enough story. I thought, some of the side stories were really good and, quite frankly, scarier than the main story. The mocap was fantastic. The acting was great. There was a lot of good stuff about it. But where it failed was it put too heavy of an emphasis on action rather than horror. Whereas 1 and especially 2 had a very good balance between the two. There were some kind of actiony bits, but it really put the stronger emphasis on the horror, which is really what people were coming to Dead Space for. And then also just those really clumsily shoehorned in microtransactions, and even more clumsily shoehorned in multiplayer. Like, they were just trying to do everything that was popular at the time or making money for them at the time, and not seeing what actually made that franchise successful in the first place. So they screwed it up, and well, the fans responded by not as many people buying it. So that was that. Weapons building. Yeah, well, the crafting aspect, I didn't really have a big problem with the crafting aspect. I thought that was kind of a neat addition. I mean, it always had kind of a crafting aspect to it anyway, at least with the weapons upgrade systems. So to me, that was just kind of an extension of that, where they just gave you more that you could do in terms of customizing and, crafting your own weapons and stuff. I didn't have a problem with that. That was fine. And that was something you could have a little bit of fun with. I know a lot of people really like crafting stuff, so they were all over that element. But really, I think the big problem was the overemphasis on action. I mean, even my initial playthrough, I mean, if you go and watch it, I mean, there was a point towards the end where it's just this gauntlet of necromorphs coming at you, just an onslaught of them. And I was commenting at the time. It's like, okay, enough already. Like, this isn't scary. This is just annoying. You know, like it's just annoying. So, and thank you for another $3, JL. Appreciate that, dude. Going like gangbusters on the super chats. Already up to 10%. 10%. And this is just a stream goal, so it's not like one that will extend through several streams. So the dono goal, I'm trying something a little different this month. We're trying weekly goals to see if maybe having the smaller total encourages more people to contribute. So far, that has failed dismally. Week 1, I made $10, and we are now starving. So, yeah, if we could pick up the steam a little bit, pick up the pace a little bit there. That'd be great. Yeah, the Streamlabs thing there, that's just the front end for the donations. It just takes you to PayPal or lets you donate by credit card. The reason it goes through Streamlabs is because I stream through Streamlabs. So when you donate through that link, it puts a big like alert on the screen, so you get like on-screen credit. It counts towards the goal. It drops some stuff into the jar. There's all kinds of stuff. You get onto the ticker. You get on the donation ticker at the bottom there. Holy guacamole. Another $2 from Bradshaw. Thank you so much, dude. 11.33% now. Such odd numbers today. But basically that's why it goes through Streamlabs. It's a front end that links into my streaming software. So all kinds of stuff happens on the screen. Just like what you saw with the Super Chat, but it's different stuff. And you get like longer credit. Like you could be in the ticker for hours, and you get stuff in the jar, and you bump this up, and there's lots of good stuff that happens. So please use that link. Also, I keep more of it. With I know with YouTube with the super chats, same with Twitch with bits. They take a fair chunk off the top. So us streamers on our end don't see as much of it. Whereas with the donos, we just get, or the donos, PayPal takes their cut, and that's it. We get the rest of it. So for like, I think for every dollar, it's like 13% or something. What is going on with that chat box? It's just like occasionally barfs out the chat. I don't know why. See, there you go. There you go. See, Bloodswave knows. He was in the Twitch chat the other day.
Bloodswave Dave donated $11.09. One for every year since Dead Space 1 and an extra for Good Luck Smile.
There you go. See? Look at that. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Bloodswave. And then you should see him show up in the ticker at the bottom there as soon as it comes back. He should be first in the list here when it comes back. Where is it? There he is. Look at that. Right there. I don't know why that came out as $11. Oh, was it 14 Canadian? Did you do 14? You did 14 Canadian, didn't you? That's why. Yes. PayPal does everything in U.S. funds, just so you know, because 90% of my audience is from the U.S., and I get a little bonus on the exchange rate. It's usually, it's not much these days. So, yeah, YouTube takes like 30% off of super chats. Twitch bits, I think I get a little bit more because they take their cut off the top when you're buying the bits. So 1 bit equals 1 cent, and so that's a little bit of a better sort of balance. But yeah, YouTube takes a big chunk off the top. It's the same with what is it? Twitch subscriptions. They take 50% of that. So you pay $5 for a monthly subscription, and I get like $2.50 of it. So it's something anyway. Let's see, Sean. I was thinking the same thing. You're thinking about that chat as well. The chats from Twitch look as if they try to delay. Well, no, it's not. It's nothing to do. This is nothing to do with Twitch. This is all configured specifically for YouTube. So I don't know. A new Silent Hill game? Dude, have you not been paying attention? We are getting a shit ton of Silent Hill. There was like a whole like live stream about it, about all the new Silent Hill stuff coming out. Maybe we should talk about that a little bit. But yeah, better just use outside sources to make money. $5, $5. That's excellent. Thank you so much, JL. Appreciate all the super chats, dude. 1 metric ton of sun. Yeah, like there is. I don't know what rock you've been sleeping under, but they did a big thing just a couple weeks ago, about all the new Silent Hill stuff coming out. There's some new games. What is going on with that? That chat box is driving me nuts. What the fuck? It was not doing that the last time we were here. Is there something I need to do here to? Supposed to be no delay. Yeah, I don't even know. There's like literally no settings that I can adjust. I guess it just is what it is. Are you getting lag spikes? Let me look at my performance window. It says everything is good. 0% dropped frames. Rocking and rolling, right out of controlling. So I don't know. Finally, I can chat on a Z stream. Twitch wants me to enter my phone number to authorize me to use their chat, but it won't work for some reason. Yes, you know another way you can avoid that is by subscribing on Twitch. You also get an ad-free experience on Twitch if you subscribe. That is a function that I personally have turned on as a perk for my subscribers. So, just saying. But yeah, we had to add additional security. Maybe that's why people are avoiding Twitch, is because of all the added security. But that's one of the big reasons why we implemented that. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't tell you the reason. One of the big reasons we implemented that was because we were having a lot of problems with trolls over there. This was around the time that, I don't know if you guys heard, but a couple years ago, there was a big problem with what they call hate raids. It was primarily targeting the LGBTQ community. But we did get a little bit of that, just because, you know, I'm a middle-aged geek guy, and thus also something of a target, I guess. And so it was basically just to... I was also going through personal problems at the time, and they added the mental... Actually, yeah, I remember what it was now. They had added mental health tags, things like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, etc., to be more inclusive. And they'd also added LGBTQ tags like, you know, gay, trans, whatever. So they had, or, you know, bisexual, whatever. So they'd added all these different tags in the interest of being more inclusive. But what ended up happening was the haters and the hate groups, yes, there's groups of them out there, used that as a way to specifically find and target people from all those different groups. So it basically just became a big flag, like a big flashing neon sign for the hate groups, say, hey, come, you know, harass me. And that's how it was being used. So there were some hate groups that were doing organized raids with like sometimes thousands of bots, and just spouting horrifying, like just the most abhorrent, hateful shit in their chats, and just basically bombarding them with hate. So Twitch implemented further. They did find out who it was, at least in a few cases. So there were, as far as I know, there were charges pressed against some of these people. But to prevent that sort of thing from happening again, they added additional security features which could be opted into by streamers. So some of those were requiring email verification and or phone verification for anyone to be able to chat. And again, this is all customizable by the, two of the main guys. Good intention, bad execution. Exactly. They had the best of intentions, but it was, you know, the horrible people in the world found a way to abuse it. So they added some additional security features. And then the other thing was they also added a function for subscribers where, again, the streamer could opt in or opt out, where they could opt in to allow subscribers to circumvent some of the heavier security requirements by subscribing. The logic there being that most haters and trolls are not going to pay money. At most, they might pay $1. They're not going to like to have alert on screen or whatever, but they're not going to pay $5 for a monthly subscription to get around that. That's some like very few would, and yeah, so that's why. Anyway, that's why that's in place. And since we did that, since we implemented all the security measures, yes, unfortunately, it meant a few people weren't able to chat. But it also meant we were having far less problems with trolls because it was getting pretty bad for a while there. A couple of years ago, it was pretty awful. We have a lot of people from all different walks of life in our community. A lot from the gay and trans community, and a lot from the mental health community who have we all have our own demons to face. And there were a few instances where trolls came in specifically targeting people. Looking for the fragile ones that they could really hate on and like say some horrible things. Like these are just horrible, horrible people. And that's why I am such an advocate against that sort of thing, because I've seen the impact that it has firsthand. I mean, I've felt it myself from a lot of the hate that I've received over the years and a lot of the ways people have attacked me over the years. But I've also seen it in my own community with how some of the trolls come in and attack these minority groups or fragile fragile mental health people. And that's something that I won't tolerate. So if I'm in a position to put a stop to that, I will. If someone wants to argue with me that that goes against free speech, fuck you. Fuck you. There is no defense at all that you can make in support of hate speech of any kind. Period. If you think that spouting hate speech and misogyny and homophobia and transphobia is in any way defensible or desirable, get the fuck off my channel right now. Just block yourself. So, yeah. That's where I stand on that. It does a bit, doesn't it? Dude, couple things. You never have to ask me if I've seen something about Dead Space or if I'm going to play a Dead Space game, because I will always have seen it and I will always play it. And second, you never have to ask me if I've seen anything Doctor Who. I watch literally everything Doctor Who pretty much as soon as it drops, or at least within a few days. But yes, I did watch the Doctor Who special and absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. Looking forward to the 60th anniversary specials. Apparently there's going to be 3 of them and stuff like that. It's my beliefs. I'm entitled to make you miserable. That seems to be the mindset, yeah. It's like, well, that's my right to be a, despicable trash fire of a human. It's like, okay, do it over there, because you are not welcome in my space with that. So, yes, Doctor Who is definitely one of my main jams, and Mr. Stay Puft's as well, apparently. So, yeah. I'm actually a little bit behind due to lack of funds. I still need to get the Steelbook of Galaxy 4 and the Abominable Snowmen and the Season 22 set as far as Blu-ray releases go. Otherwise, I'm up to... Last ones I got were Evil of the Daleks and the Season 17 set, the latest Tom Baker set that came out. Freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence. Well, yeah, and not freedom of accountability. That's the big misunderstanding about that, is that's not what it means. And in some countries, you can actually be arrested for that. Like in Canada, you can actually be arrested for hate speech. You can be thrown in fucking jail for being a hateful fuckhead, So, yeah. truer words have never been spoken, Sean. In fact, I have another Canadian friend who might agree with you when it comes to those words about having rights. His name, 2 words, Matt Brunette. I don't know who that. You said that as if I should know who that is. I don't know who that is. Hey, BoJack. Love BoJack Horseman. That was such a great show. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. Rosie actually just started watching BoJack Horseman. She's been enjoying it. She had to take a bit of a break after season 2, though, because some of the sad parts were very sad. I said, "Well, just wait; it gets even sadder." But Trucker Chick is still locked up. Possibly, I didn't really follow that very much, other than sort of while it was happening. But you're talking about the what was it? The anti-mask trucker protest, or whatever the fuck it was, a couple of years ago, or a year or so ago. Yeah, or the COVID thing. Yeah, that was so ridiculous. But yeah, gotta go grab some of those classic Blu-ray sets sometimes. Yes, dove into Tom Baker's first season of Genesis of the Daleks. Oh, Genesis of the Daleks is great. Yeah, a very not subtle allegory against fascism. But mind you, the Daleks have always kind of been an allegory for fascism ever since the very first story. Genesis just made it a little bit more obvious with, you know, the Khalids very much dressed like Nazis and stuff. So yeah, Peter Miles is Nider. What an amazing character actor, and he really made that character appropriately despicable. Hey, another one from JL. You guys just love the Bat credit card. Eh? Maybe I should just have that for all the alerts. Hey, no worries, Icarus. That's why there's a VOD. You can always catch up on what you missed. But, yeah. And, sorry, Tom Watt was asking if I've made any music recently. I have not. I would like to. It's just a matter of feeling inspired. I did subscribe to Reason Plus for a little bit, but I ended up not using it at all, so I canceled the subscription after about 6 months. At some point, I'll get back into it. It's definitely something I miss, and I would like to do more of. And, yeah. Still got a lot of album ideas, sort of, you know, concept albums and stuff I'd like to do. Really enjoyed, was it back I guess 2018 was probably the last time I did a lot of, like a significant amount of composition, when I did the Halloween Moments of Horror, the little shorts showcasing some of my Halloween decor, and then I did original music for each one of those shorts. That was a lot of work. That took like a month to put all that together, because I was doing original music or ambient type atmospheric stuff for each one, something different for each one. And I did, I think there was like 18 shorts or something, so that meant I had to do like 18 separate pieces of music, ranging in length from 30 to 45 seconds a piece. So, yeah, it was tough. That is, dude, you don't know your 80s and 90s Batman if you think that was Michael Keaton. That was George Clooney, and that is one of the most notorious things from Batman and Robin that everybody shits on about it. The Bat credit card. Maybe you just blocked that movie from your memory. Who knows? But Adrian James is asking thoughts on David Tennant coming back as the Doctor. Well, I mean, we all know it's only temporary. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to get another 5 seasons of David Tennant. No. Ncuti Gatwa is the real new Doctor. David Tennant is just coming back for at least one of the 60th anniversary specials. So, so that's the thing, is people are losing their minds over it and getting all bent out of shape about it. And it's like, oh, this seem to find any reason at all to complain about Doctor Who. Like, just, can't you just chill and just have fun? And here's my take on it, is the next thing we're going to see is the 60th anniversary special. So it's an anniversary special meant to celebrate all things Who. Now, doesn't it make more sense for the first story of a new Doctor, i.e., Ncuti Gatwa, to be for him to be the central focus of that story? If they had his debut story be the 60th anniversary story, he's not going to be the central focus of it, and I think that's unfair to any incumbent Doctor to have the focus taken away from them and their debut, because the main focus is the anniversary stuff going on and all the nostalgia and whatever else. So I think in that way it makes sense that they're going with a popular previous Doctor or previous actor for the anniversary special, and then Ncuti will show up at the end of it or something, or in the middle, or who knows, so at some point, and then he'll get his proper debut solo story, where he can fully, he can be fully in the spotlight and really show us what he can do with his portrayal of the Doctor. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine. It was a surprise. I didn't think that's the direction they were going when we first started seeing pictures of Tennant, and just knew that he was shooting stuff for the 60th anniversary special. I thought it was going to be like he was going to be a Doctor from another, parallel reality or something, and he would team up with the new Doctor. But nope, they went in a very different direction. But yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine. What if they swerve and David Tennant regenerates once per special? 17th Doctor? Yeah, I know. Well, they're already calling Ncuti the 15th. So he's definitely going to be the 15th. So, yeah. The 5 Doctors. Yeah, I still maintain that the 5 Doctors was the best anniversary special ever. Because it really felt like a celebration of all things Who. It was great. Lots of cameos, lots of nostalgia, and it's just a really fun story. And it added some stuff to the lore of the Time Lords and Gallifrey and whatnot. So it was great. I love the 5 Doctors. I've watched it many, many times. So, yeah. Hope Matt Smith comes back. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great. I hope that I hope we see a lot of other Doctors show up. So yeah, I saw that one too, the 5/10th Doctors, and it was a joke. It was like the 70th anniversary special, the 5/10th Doctors. It's just all David Tennant, and which is funny because he's technically been 4 Doctors now, so they're adding one. They just added one more where he was one of the curators. So yeah. So ridiculous. But people get like so bent out of shape over any little thing. It's like with all the big franchises, and this is kind of what I've been on about with the Toxic Takedowns, which I need to get back to, by the way. I need to put together a new list of topics there, but or just pay more attention to the fandom. I haven't really been paying much attention the past few weeks. I was kind of preoccupied with Halloween stuff, but a lot of these franchises are huge and spanning decades, spanning generations. So there's a lot of continuity. There's a lot of retconning. There's a lot of change over the course of them. When you dive into the source material, like in the case of Marvel, when you dive into the comics, things have been changed and retconned and twisted and turned and flip-flopped every which way you can think of over the years. And it's the same with Doctor Who. I mean, with anything like that, when a big long-running franchise like that, the only constant is change. You can't expect things to be the same all the time. There has to be change. They have to move and change and evolve with the times if they're going to stay relevant, if they're going to stay current, if they're going to maintain interest of the various fandoms. They will try some things that won't work so well. They'll try other things that'll work really well. But the bottom line is, it's the only way for these massive franchises to live and to continue is to change. The only constant is change. And something like Doctor Who especially, where change is such an inherent part of it. I mean, they change the lead actor every few years. I mean, not very many other shows can say that. You know, the only other sort of series I can think of that does that with any kind of consistency would be James Bond. So, you know, I think Deadpool 3 will be great, you know, because I don't think Ryan Reynolds will not let it be great. You know, he has a lot of say in those movies. So I think it'll be fine. People get too hung up on the fact that Disney's the one paying the bills. That, you know, it's thanks to Disney that we have the MCU at all right now. Paramount did the first few as they were about to die as a studio. And then Disney bought Marvel and continued it, you know. So, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be great to see Carol Ann Ford back. I mean, we did see William Russell briefly in the new special, so that was a nice surprise. I almost cried when I saw him. It was wonderful to see him. But yeah, I'd like to see more of the ex-companions support group. Actually, I thought that was a nice idea. I like that. I will check it right now, so I can check it sneakily while I'm. Yeah. Wow. Well, thanks for being on the ball there, Carlatin. Appreciate that. What is with this chat box? Here, let me turn it off and on again. I just don't even know. Well, no, I think Paramount's fine now. I'm talking like 15 years ago, dude. Paramount has turned things around. They're fine now. I mean, look how much they're doing with their back catalog on Blu-ray now versus even 5 years ago. You know, there's nothing wrong with Paramount now. They will be around for a long, long time. Warner. God, what's going on with Warner is just depressing. This whole, what was it, David Zaslavsky? Fuck, I can't remember. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just honestly can't remember his name. Zaslav. That's what, David Zaslav? Yeah. Anyway, that fucking asshole. Yeah, trying to just shoehorn this wonderful studio that's been around since the dawn of time into Discovery. Well, yeah, all of the, like, just generally. I mean, it's great they want to focus on big movies, but I mean, HBO Max was doing really well, I thought. And he's just, like, killing all these projects. And I don't know, it's like, yeah, get that asshole out and don't let Warner endanger being consumed by Disney. Well, yeah, I mean, yes, clearly that was saying hello to you specifically, Jordan. Yes. Jordan walks in. Ugh, that fucking asshole. Clearly directed to you. But I don't know what's going on with that chat box. I can't seem to fix it. It's just going to randomly barf out chat, apparently. The chat delay is set to 0. Maybe if I set the delay at 1. We'll try that. A delay of 1. We'll find out. Fox was doing bad. Well, Marvel was doing bad at one time. They almost got bought by DC. They were offered, apparently, to Warner, who owns DC. But they declined. Well, here's the thing about that, Kevin. He says, heard 2 different things about rumors. One of them was that Peter Capaldi, aka Doctor Number 12, isn't reprising his role. How does that sound to you? Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Well, he's the thing is, it's like the way I know the one you're talking about. I saw the clip where he was being interviewed, and the way the interviewer asked the question was and I see this all the time. Like, will you ever come back to Doctor Who? And they don't ask. They don't ask it properly. The correct question is, would you ever return to the role for, say, an anniversary special or something? That's really what they're trying to ask. But they word it in such a way that it sounds like they're asking, will you come back and do Doctor Who for another 5 years? And it's like, no, of course they won't. Hey, thanks, JL. Another $2. We are now at 20% on the super chat. Can we get a little more on this dono goal? We're really like limping along this week. It's getting depressing. Like, come on, guys. If you want me to do update videos, I need money to buy the stuff to do the updates about. Simple as that. So, you wonder why there haven't been a lot of updates? Because we haven't been hitting these goals. That's why. But yeah, people ask those questions. They word them terribly. And so, of course, the actor is going to say, well, no, of course not. And then that gets all blown out of proportion. Peter Capaldi says he'll never return to Doctor Who. You know, and that's not necessarily true. The other thing to consider is rule number 1, the Doctor lies. So, how much did Andrew Garfield say about returning to Spider-Man when people kept asking him if he was returning to Spider-Man for the Spider-Man movie? Yeah, there's these things called non-disclosure agreements. So, like, if he's making some kind of an appearance, remember, the only thing we've seen of David Tennant in the 60th is some location filming that they were doing, and the only reason we saw it at all is because some fan took pictures and leaked them all over the internet. We don't know what's going on in the studios. We don't know who else is there in the studios. It's a 60th anniversary special. People are like getting all bent out of shape saying, oh, it looks like it's just a celebration of Series 4 of the 10th Doctor's era with just the 10th Doctor and Donna again. And it's like, you don't know that. We know precisely jack and shit about what's happening in the 60th anniversary special. So, yeah. That's You want to know the rule about nightclub? That's not even remotely the quote. No, that's not even the quote. You got the quote wrong. The first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. That's the quote. The second rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Yeah. I forget what the third one is. Third rule, I think, is fights go on as long as they have to. I know the last rule is, and the last rule is, if it's your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight. So that was it. I'm actually in the middle of reading the book of that. I've never read the original book before. It's really good. Now I want to watch Fight Club again. Such a great movie. You want to know the rule about nightclub? No. Clearly, Jail has never seen Fight Club, or he would know the rules of Fight Club. So, I've not read any of the Marvel Alien comics. I've read very few of the Alien comics, actually. The only ones I've read are the original trilogy of miniseries that Dark Horse did back in the 80s, the ones that were a direct sequel to Aliens. It was before Alien 3 came out. And those were great. It was actually a really good continuation of the story from there, with both Ripley, Hicks, and Newt all dealing with the trauma of that experience in very different ways. And then also all about, the Weyland-Yutani Corporation trying to sort of bioengineer the aliens as weapons and stuff like that. And there's like this religious cult that springs up around the xenomorphs, and it's really good. They recently re-released all three of them in their original unaltered form. I'll say why in a moment. But yeah, so they re-released all three of them in their original unaltered form for the first time in like 30 years or something, or 20 years. So you can get all of them again. Now, originally when I wanted to read them, I had to track down the original printings of the trade paperbacks they put out. So I have the original releases of those. Now, why I say unaltered is because when Alien 3 came out, they made a bunch of changes to those three miniseries to make it align with movie continuity. So, Ripley, Newt, and Hicks were all renamed as different characters, and they removed pages, and it was just... I did not like what they did, so I wanted the original form, so... And another 5 from JL. We're a little over a quarter of the way through that super chat goal. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate that. Can we get some more on the dono goal here? This is really the important one right now, because we're kind of limping through the month here. Week 1 was a complete wash. We made like $10 for the entire week. Because, you know, I'm totally doing this just to volunteer my time. I'm not doing this to make a living or anything. Yeah, streamers and content creators live off our tips. No tips, we can't pay the bills. Simple as that. This is what we do for a living. We entertain you. We provide content for you. So, without contributions from you, the viewers, we can't function. And then we, eventually, if it just continues like that, we end up just going away. And you won't see us again. So, because it wasn't working. Simple as that. So, that's how that works. We're like waiters and waitresses. The ad revenue we get on our videos is our pittance of a wage, and the tips we get from you guys, our loyal customers, are where we make our real living. So, if I say the term NFT, will anyone know what I mean? They might not in a few years. Although I notice Elon Musk is still trying to push that. I was looking at the features of Twitter Blue, and one of the features is you get an NFT profile picture. So your profile picture is an NFT, apparently. So ridiculous. But you have the original printings of the Alien trade paperbacks. I do want to get the single issues as well. I hated the revised versions; those suck. Yeah, and I don't. And those were the only versions that were available for the longest time. They were the ones that were being reprinted in all the omnibus editions and collected editions and stuff. So finally, they brought the original unaltered versions back. Your favorite late night entertainer? Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I noticed you've been working your way through the Fortnite videos too. I'm glad someone is enjoying them. Actually, no, a fair number of people enjoy those. But yeah, I forgot about that one that you commented on earlier today. Was what was it? The where the hell is it here? No, it wasn't you. Sorry, it wasn't you. It was someone else with a similar username. My apologies. I'm getting my as a similar username and a similar profile picture. Well, it looks similar in the small little thing there. My bad. I'm getting people mixed up. My apologies. Well, anyway, to the guy who's enjoying my Fortnite videos, thanks. What did I just click on? I just clicked on something. So, in terms of stuff that is coming, still slowly chugging away with the new batch of closer looks. So we got some of those. They've been kind of stalled over the course of Halloween, but I'd like to get those finished up in the coming weeks. But the other thing I'm working on is I'm actually kind of getting a head start on next Halloween. Yeah. For those of you who do come to my Twitch streams, you'll know that, if you're Patreon sponsors, you may have seen these on the playlists. I recently played Resident Evil 8, and they just put out the DLC for Resident Evil 8, which I have not played yet. But I'm in the process of putting together YouTube episodes of Resident Evil 8, and I thought, well, I could post them now, but I'd kind of rather have them go up around Halloween, so So I'm getting them ready now, and then they're going to go up around Halloween 2023. And I thought, well, since I'm doing that, why don't I see what else I can do for Halloween 2023 well in advance? So if I'm feeling bummed out and don't feel like making videos around that time, we'll have tons of content already done. So that's the idea. So starting with Resident Evil 8, got some other scary games that I played over the past couple of years that I still haven't done YouTube videos of, so I'm going to get those all prepped. And then, over the course of the year, do a batch of movie reviews and updates and stuff. So when it comes to September, October, should be quite a lot of Halloween content, because this year I didn't really do very much. I didn't do very much mainly due to lack of funds, because I like to have a variety of updates. That's when I like to add things to my horror collection, and I was not able to add a single thing to my horror collection this year due to lack of funds. Was barely able to pay the bills, honestly. So that's it. You take care of the necessities first, and what's left over, that's where the fun money goes. And unfortunately, a lot of what I do videos about comes out of fun money. I don't have a fund for it. So again, we're not hitting these goals. There's no fun money, which means no update videos. I don't get freebies. I'm not like those other guys who get freebies from the studios. Nobody sends me anything. I get freebies from some of you guys, and you guys send me packages, but I don't get freebies from the studios. So if I don't got no money, I can't get no stuff. I can't do no updates. I can't do no closer looks. I can't do no reviews. And that's it. It literally kills the content when there's no money coming in. So it's all up to you guys. If you want me to do more stuff, give generously. Do I collect 4K Blu-rays? Literally ask me if I buy things when I'm just talking about why I can't buy things. Am I talking into a vacuum here? Yes. When I have money to buy, wait a minute. Do you watch my videos? Like, I did a bunch of update videos just in the past couple months, and I literally addressed that in those update videos. So, anyway, yes, I generally will buy 4K these days if it's like a new release. I don't go out of my way to upgrade things to 4K because I don't have the luxury of double dipping. And I don't have a 4K TV, I don't have a 4K player. And hey, Movie Mike, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Movie Mike donated $10. We need a train. The stream runs on donations and the train runs on Doritos chip, Doritos chip, Doritos chip.
Yes, it does. The stream runs on Doritos chips, of which I also have none right now. Great. Now I want Doritos. But yeah, there we go. See, there's Movie Mike already in the ticker. Already in the ticker. There we go. So, good stuff. Get your name in lights. And that brings us up to 10% on the goal for this week. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. We're slowly chipping away at it. Hopefully we'll start to chip away at it a little faster. But yeah, anyway, I do get 4Ks once in a while. The idea is to kind of get new stuff on 4K to kind of future-proof that segment of the collection, and then eventually, upgrade some of the other stuff down the line. So we shall see. So anyway, that's some stuff that I'm working on. So trying to get that batch of closer looks done, as well as starting on some Halloween prep. I actually already have some stuff scheduled for next Halloween, so you'll get to see that in about 10 months. So enjoy. Yeah, no, 4K is lovely. The only thing I would suggest if you're going to upgrade, get a big TV. Because on a smaller screen, you're not really going to see much of a difference other than, a slight improvement in the color. But if you really want to see the difference, get a big TV. Like freaking 65, 75, 85 inches. Just massive. Obscenely huge. 4K Jason the Wheeled Warriors. Probably never. We barely even got it on DVD. Like, how long were we waiting for that on DVD? Yeah, I actually, funny you mentioned that. I do have a closer look in the works for Galaxy Rangers. I want because I only ever did one of the two sets back in the day, so I wanted to do the rest of it, um, and also do Mighty Orbots, which was from the same company. So I wanted to do a revised, closer look and take a more in-depth look at the contents of that. Unfortunately, those sets are out of print now. You can still occasionally find them in the wild for a reasonable price, but yeah. Transformers Generation 1, possibly. I mean, it's possible. It might. I know He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is getting a Blu-ray release. They basically did AI upscaling for the whole thing, and it actually looks really good. So, where high definition source elements do not exist, AI upscaling has really opened a lot of doors as far as that. Yeah. Oh, you don't follow James Etalk. You got to follow James Etalk from Serial Geek. He's been very heavily involved with that project, helping them source the best quality masters and all kinds of stuff. So he's been pretty heavily involved in that. So it's for the moment, it's a German release. I'm not sure if it's region locked. It does include English audio, and apparently they're doing all of He-Man and She-Ra. So the whole dang works. And looking at the difference in picture quality between the old BCI Eclipse sets, the Universal sets which came out a few years ago, which were actually worse, and this new Blu-ray transfer, it looks amazing. Let me see if I can find a picture here. Yeah, here we are. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let me see here. Yeah, here we go. I'll just open these up here. Okay. So let me just switch over to Chrome. Yeah, see, the problem is some of these people doing... well, that's the thing, is the way this Blu-ray has been done is they have taken the Hallmark masters and retimed them and done pitch correction for NTSC speed, or more specifically 24 frames per second, so the original film speed. So the pitch and timing has been corrected for all the episodes. And then they run it through the upscaling for the Blu-ray release. So, dude, don't even go there. I've covered this so many times. Not sure how much animated films benefit from 4K. Dude, how about all those beautiful painted backgrounds that they're on? You get sharper, more true-to-life colors. You get cleaner lines for the cells. It absolutely benefits. That's like saying how much does a painting benefit from high definition versus being, on a postage stamp. Like, it absolutely benefits. Don't buy into that myth that animation doesn't get any better in high definition, because that is fucking bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. Animation absolutely benefits from it, especially old school stuff like that, where everything's hand drawn and hand painted. I mean, those incredible detailed watercolor backgrounds from all of those shows look amazing in high definition. You see far more. You can see the individual brush strokes in high definition. That's something you can't see on DVD. Like, come on. So if we go here. Okay, Chrome, where are you? Here we go. All right, so just taking a look on Twitter here. This is James Etalk at Serial Geek. I highly recommend following him if you want to see more. So let's take a look here. If we open this up, you want to see how much it benefits? Here you go. Contender DVDs. This was the UK release that predated the BCI Eclipse release from the same masters. So this was basically the masters we got from the BCI Eclipse. So 2003. 2019, you can see how god-awful the Universal DVDs were. Just garbage. Absolute garbage. And this is with the AI upscaling. So you tell me that doesn't make a difference. Like, really? Come on. Zoom in more. DVD. In particular, look at the cliff he's standing on, and look at the definition of the lines of the characters. Okay, so 2003 DVD, 2019 DVD, Blu-ray. Like, come on. That looks like quite an improvement to me. All right. Garbage. Stunning. You know? And then there's another example. Right here. Let's pull this up. So, Contender DVD. Here we go. Take a look at his face here. So he's just, oh my god. That is awful. And then, bam. Oh my god, it's like they adjusted the focus. Yeah. And this is all hand-drawn. This is all cells. This isn't even a painted background. But look at the difference. That is, like, if we go from here to here, you know? I mean, that's a huge difference. You can't tell me there's no difference there. That's massive. So, there you go. Well, simply because Universal, I guess, just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I don't know. I don't know why it looks so much worse, but clearly they screwed up something somewhere along the line, you know. So that's coming out next year from a German label. No word on a region, like a North American release. And I don't know if it will be region locked. But that's quite a difference. Yeah, where I mean it's really apparent to me is not only in the cleanliness of the lines, but also the detail in the painted backgrounds, you know. So this is, as far as I know, this is an upscale from the PAL Masters. So it's unfortunate that the film prints don't exist, because we would see even more detail here if the film prints existed. But this is still very, very good. I mean, it's a considerable improvement. And for you know, for shows where high definition source elements do not exist, I think AI upscaling is absolutely phenomenal. Hey mods, you asleep or what? Wake up. Mods, hello? Are there any fucking mods here? You gotta be quicker on the draw, guys. Don't fall asleep over there. We can't let shit like that through. There we go. Master of the Universe. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's no different than it was 40 years ago. I mean, I thought it was silly and childish at the time. You know, when it was originally on. But mind you, I was just a hair outside of the target audience for it, I think. But what was I? I guess I would have been like 11 when it was originally on, and I thought it was okay. But I think I was a little disappointed because seeing the toys and the sort of gritty artwork of the toys, I was hoping for a gritty, slightly grittier show, and it just seemed very clean to me. But yeah, you found it very sophisticated. I see. Well, there you go. Oh yeah, I guess you would have been like 4, 4 or 5. Yeah, so I was I was born in '72, so I love how they did a live action movie of it and did everything. Well, they did a live action movie in 1987, which was like long after um, its popularity had considerably waned by that point, and even Filmation, the studio who made it, was almost dead by that point. Now that was the year they did Brave Star, which was their last animated show. They did a couple of movies after, but that was pretty much it. That was their swan song. But yeah, yeah, the OG box art. Yeah, I'd really like to get that book that they put out that collected all the mini comics, because the mini comics are kind of similar in look and tone and present a very different kind of mythology for the toys as well. I mean, it's similar, but it's different. But I liked some of those. I've collected a number of. I should do a video about them at some point. I've collected a number of mini comics that used to be toy pack-ins. Like I've got, I think, all of the ones they did for Stariors and Sectars, and I've got some of the Atari 2600 ones as well. So it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, they do. They put out a collected edition that has all of them. It has the whole works. So, yeah. And I agree, Thomas. Silver Surfer was awesome. That was so good. That was around the time that Marvel was having their issues that I was mentioning earlier. And that was actually the reason it got canceled, was because they were just canceling everything at the time because they were in financial trouble. The show itself was very well received and had good ratings, apparently. So it wasn't that the show failed. It was that Marvel was failing. So everything they had going on at the time was canceled. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I think Hulk, the '90s Hulk series, was canceled around the same time as well. So they all kind of crapped out around the same time. But which is unfortunate because those were great shows. And yeah, we definitely need more Vampire Hunter D movies, considering there's like 25 books, and they've only adapted the first and third ones. So I'm kind of surprised they haven't, or that they haven't done like a series or something, considering how popular. The unfortunate thing about those He-Man DVDs, there was a scene from Diamond Ray of Disappearance that sadly was left out. Orko successfully escaping the light of Skeletor's Diamond Ray. Well, you know what? James Eatock is basically an authority on all things He-Man. And if anybody would find a way to include that, he would. So if it exists, then I can pretty much guarantee you he will try his damnedest to get it put back in. He already did that with there was a line that was missing from an episode, and he found a way to put that line back in. So X-Men is not on Blu-ray and likely never will be. Basically, none of those old Marvel shows are on Blu-ray other than the ones that were made during the high definition era. The more recent ones. But the old ones, the old ones will never see the light of day on DVD, at least not as long as Disney is so hell-bent on focusing on Disney Plus. So, yeah. A lot of Peter David stuff. Yeah, it was, yeah. Split Personas, the Gray and Green Hulk, Mr. Fix-It, yeah, exactly. I recently got this, The Fall of the Pantheon. This was reprinted recently. It was out of print for quite a while, but this contains a good chunk of about 2 years worth, I guess, or a year and a half's worth of Peter David's run. So really good stuff. Need to get the rest of them, but again, lack of funds. So, are there any new Phantom comics? I don't think so. Oh, that's a show I really want to see on DVD. Is Phantom 2040? That was a great show. You can find it on YouTube, but it's not terrific quality. It's fine. It's perfectly watchable, but the problem I have with it is it's not in stereo. It has such an amazing soundtrack that it really benefits from and like just sound design, it really benefits from the stereo sound, and I wish we'd have some stereo, have a proper video release of it so we can have it in stereo. We only got a few episodes of it on DVD and Laserdisc and VHS, yeah. They had the pilot movie, which I think I might actually have that Laserdisc. Yeah, I think I do. I think I have the Laserdisc of that. But unfortunately, I don't have a functioning Laserdisc player, so I can't. Otherwise, I would transfer it. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. Have you ever considered propane as a power source for that board of yours? Yes. Propane. Yeah, I've read very little of Peter David's run. I've heard nothing but good things about it. And honestly, just skimming through this one volume I have, it looks awesome. Like I really like what I've seen of it. It looks like he did some interesting stuff, some cool ideas. X-Men is on, yeah. Well, basically everything is on Disney Plus right now. They put all the old Marvel stuff on there, most of it anyway. All the 80s and 90s stuff is there. There's some cases where they've put some 80s and 90s shows on with new high-def masters. Like, for example, I was taking a look at Droids. Droids is on there in its original broadcast form with the original music and everything. First time that's been available in like 20 years at least, if not longer. And it appears it's at least been upscaled to 1080p, but I kind of wonder if they just went straight off the film prints because it looks great. Looks really good. I think they did the same thing with Ewoks as well. But I was never big on Ewoks. Droids I always really liked, though. So, well, I don't know. I haven't watched a single episode of Andor yet. I'm waiting a bit. I'm probably going to just binge the whole thing when it finishes. Yeah, so I have them all on standby. I haven't watched a single episode, so I don't know anything about it yet, other than the time frame it takes place in. Don't know who's in it. Don't know what happens. Nothing. So no spoilers, please. Greetings, Cause Brady Show. How's it going? Very good and also very weird. Yeah. Well, that's where the whole Professor Hulk thing came from. So there's a lot of, Smart Hulk through a good chunk of his run. And that's kind of the era that's covered in there is when he's Intelligent Hulk. So So I don't. People get all bent out of shape about Professor Hulk, saying they don't understand the character of the Hulk. Actually, you don't understand the character of the Hulk. You have any idea how long Smart Hulk was the main Hulk? And from one of the most fan favorite runs in the entire history of the character. It's like, yeah, Professor Hulk being one of the personalities. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, and one of the storylines in there is where they split. I forget. I just kind of skimmed it, so I don't know the specifics. But they split Banner apart from the Hulk again. But this time, Hulk is the intelligent one, and Banner is the savage one. So you have the savage Banner, and he's just like ranting and raving and raging at everybody. But it's Banner. It's so weird. But I love shit like that. Like, yeah, there's so many interesting ways you can go with the Hulk, and Peter David just seemed keen to explore all of it. So the Riddler was a psycho in the new Batman. Not sure I liked that. I loved it personally, because I mean, there's been other iterations of the Riddler where he was played more sort of homicidal. I mean, if you look at the Arkham games, or not the Arkham games, the Telltale games. He's played a lot more scary in that. But yeah, I liked it. I mean, I think it made him scarier. Not so much that he was a psycho, but he was more, because there's a lot. I've been diving a lot into true crime lately, and there's a lot of cases of like serial killers or whatnot where they're like that. They kind of taunt the police and such because they think they're above everybody else, and that's kind of what I got the impression they were touching on with the Riddler. So, yeah. Think the BBC will ever find the rest of the Second Doctor episodes? No. I'm sure there's still a few out there left to be found. Apparently, I think, was it Philip Morris said there's at least 6 episodes that he knows of that are in the hands of private collectors that they just won't let them go for some reason. Just like the stigma of having the only copy in existence of something, I guess. Just so fucking selfish. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's still episodes out there to be found, but I don't know that there's. I mean, I would think that if they were out there to be found, they would have been found by now. I mean, it's been a long time. It's been like 50 years they've been looking for these episodes, So, yeah, I guess 40 years. We are getting the Batman too, and we're also getting a couple of spin-offs on HBO Max. We're getting an Arkham Asylum miniseries and a Penguin miniseries. So, yeah. Guess they enjoy being hated by the entire Doctor Who fandom, apparently. Well, hopefully one day they will shuffle off this mortal coil, and then we can get their collections. Dude, I played a game about Albert Fish a few Halloweens ago. Look up one called Masochisia. I'll spell it for you. Played it in 4 parts, and it was based on that. Where is it here? Yeah. Yeah. There is also a... Oh, hey, Skeleton Boner. Long time no see, dude. 992 Turbo S. Excellent. Is the S for Skeleton Boner? Yeah, Albert Fish. There's actually a documentary on Netflix, I think, about him. I'm debating whether or not I want to watch it because I already kind of know the story. And that is very disturbing. That it's for those who don't know, Albert Fish was one of America's first documented serial killers, and in his case, he targeted children primarily, and was also, and I think he killed members of his family and stuff. He was also a cannibal. And he would also send letters to the parents of the victims and like describe what he did to them in excruciating detail. It is like so many layers of fucked up. And this was like back in, what was it, like the 1800s or something? It was a long time ago. Anyway, it was like one of America's earliest serial killers. But But yeah, anyway, there was a game made based on that story called Masakizia, which was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And it puts you in the mind of Albert Fish as he is losing it and becoming what he would ultimately become. And it's very well done, but it's very disturbing. I felt like dirty after playing it, you know. But yeah, it's some messed up shit. I mean, if you want to just kind of skim, you can. There's a Wikipedia page about him. If you'd like sort of a more fanciful look at the story, that's a little easier to stomach, maybe check out my playthrough of Masakizia from a few years ago. It's very well done. It was all done with like hand drawn graphics. It was kind of I forget, it was like kind of a point and click thing. It was very well done. I really enjoyed it. It was done by a guy named John Oldblood, independent game developer, and I sent him a few messages about it. It was really, really good. No, that's not it at all, Martin. I think it's more for them the stigma of knowing that they have in their possession something that no one else does. The sole copy of something in existence. There's a certain type of pride in that, I think. So, let's saw a story of a guy who built an entire hotel to trap and kill people, as in like all sorts of. That sounds familiar. I think I heard about that one. Yeah. Strange. There's a lot of weirdos out there. But Telestan asking, speaking of Arkham, when do you think you'll play Arkham Knight? Good question. Probably, I need to finish editing Arkham Origins and Arkham Origins Blackgate. And I kind of want to finish putting those episodes together before I jump into the next one, just so I don't have an absolutely overwhelming amount of Batman content to do, you know? When's the 85th anniversary? Is that coming up? I think that's coming up, isn't it? What is it, 1939? Yeah, 1939 plus 85. 2024. Okay. Maybe for 2024. I don't know. I can't say at this point. Maybe sometime this year. I don't know. But I have them. And all the DLC. So, yeah, I enjoyed the other Arkham games. I thought they were great. Well, except Origins. I had some issues with Origins, which you've probably seen at least some of in my playthrough. Do you think RoboCop 2 should get an unrated version as well? Well, only if one exists. I mean, not everything has an unrated version. Sometimes the version we were meant to see is what we end up seeing, you know. So I don't know. Bat Wheels is a show way outside my age range, but I'm tempted to check it out since I am a big sucker for DC animation. Yeah, and anything Batman, yeah. It's like putting your glasses on. What? Oh, you started the VOD. You're like way behind, I think. Are you just seeing the He-Man stuff now? Oh, God. Well, if you're watching the VOD, you won't hear this until like an hour from now. Okay. Well, anyway. I like a YouTuber that's been putting out good true crime videos. Coffee House Crimes. Around 25-minute videos. Crimes from all over the world. Okay. I might check it out. Some people have called it Batmobile Arkham Knight. Yeah. Excited for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's especially with, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, with David Tennant coming back, so it'd be kind of nice to have a past Doctor, I think, sort of showcased in an anniversary celebration. And I was saying how then that gives, Ncuti Gatwa can be properly in the spotlight once they get past the anniversary specials, and like just be the sole focus of his first story, which, I kind of understand why they did that. Instead of having his debut be an anniversary special where really the focus is on the nostalgia and the anniversary, Um, so having a first story for a new Doctor be not an anniversary special, I think makes more sense. And then we can just kind of have a big nostalgia-gasm for the 60th anniversary special, and then we go into the introduction of the new Doctor. So, yeah, so it should be fun. All right, sounds good, Kevin. Thanks for stopping out. Brian Dennehy. Oh, really? Brian Dennehy as Gacy. Interesting. I did not know. I only recently found. I mean, obviously, I'd heard of Gacy, but I didn't know the full story there. But I recently watched the Conversations with the Killer special on Netflix, the one that has the actual audio taped interviews. I watched the one with Dahmer, and also I watched the one with Ted Bundy a while back. So both of them, Dahmer and Gacy, I had heard of them, but I didn't know what their stories were. I knew that Dahmer was slightly cannibalistic. I knew that Gacy was the clown guy, but that's basically all I knew. So it was interesting to see. So apparently the series of Dahmer Monster is getting a second season because it was so well received. So I'm guessing the speculation is the second season might cover Gacy, because Gacy did appear briefly in Dahmer. So, what are my thoughts on Terminator 3? It's funny you mentioned that. We were literally just talking about that on Twitch last night. It's fine. I never had any real issues with it. I still think 1 and 2 are the best. You know, of all the sequels, I think I liked the latest one the best, Dark Fate. I thought it was excellent. I also really liked the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Wish it hadn't gotten canceled after season 2, because they were going in some really interesting directions with the story. But a robot chicken sketch. Wow, so random. Well, by a similar token, I had The Sixth Sense spoiled for me by a Star Wars fan film. Yeah. Oh, it got real quiet on the Super Chats and Donos. What happened? Everybody just suddenly ran out of money, I guess. I don't know. Ed Gein. Oh, yeah, that's another one I don't think I know. Oh, Ed Gein, he was the farmer, right? Yeah, I think I know a little bit about that one. Sex for Terminator 3, they had to pretty much chuck the whole "there is no fate but what we make for ourselves" thing in the trash. Sort of. I guess, yeah, because it was basically, it didn't matter what they did. It was Judgment Day was going to happen either way. But I guess, when you think about it in terms of time paradoxes, Judgment Day has to happen because it is Judgment Day that creates, ultimately leads to the creation of the Terminators. And the Terminators need to be created in order to be sent back to prevent Judgment Day. So the whole thing is a big paradox. Unless you go with the multiple timelines theory, which is kind of what they went with in Genesis, where they basically just went for broke, going through time and changing everything. And yeah, I don't really remember the specifics. I just remember them having moments where they kind of jumped into all the other movies. So, Gein most likely wasn't a serial killer. Most of his furniture was dug up corpses. He is thought to have only killed 2 people. Well, I mean, 2. That's a serial killer. Basically, it's serial if it's more than 1. So, yeah. Is it 3? Is that the is that the threshold? 3 makes you a serial killer. So what does 2 make you? just a little bit psycho, but not full psycho. It's like, I had to kill a second person just to be sure if it was really a thing I wanted to do. But after that, I was like, nah, not really my thing. So I stopped after 2. Okay. So after this YouTube stream, we're probably gonna head on over to Twitch. I've been doing some behind the scenes streams over there, working on some editing and stuff. So be sure to join us there for the after party, the productivity after party on Twitch. A duet. Slightly cornflake murderer. Yes, not full cereal. Just one of those single serving boxes, but you have 2 of them. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take a short break and we will return. Don't touch that dial. And we're back. Hi, how's it going? Do I have the stars going on there? I do. I have the blue stars going on. Oh, well, can't really see them too well. This webcam is only 1080p. Or 1080, 720p, but 60 frames per second. Yay! I mainly got it to have as a 60 frames per second reaction cam for my gaming videos, because of course I play all the gaming videos, or all the games at 60, so it matches nicely that way. But when I go full screen like this, of course, we don't have all the crisp, clean definition that we normally have in my regular videos. So there is a 1080p mode for it, but it's only 30 frames per second, and it's like, well, higher resolution or better frame rate. And it would just mean messing with the settings every time I do anything, so I just kind of leave it at 720. Oh well. The Void. There's a couple movies by that title, isn't there? And one of them is the good one. Is that the one that was? No, that was The Pyramid, I think. There was some found footage one that was like, it was a title like that. I can't remember what it was. But what's this? Rob says 5 weeks later, and I've received only 6 of the 12 Blu-ray horror flicks I ordered from Shout Factory for their Halloween special, and now they want me to check out their Black Friday deals. Great. Yeah, I've seen a few posts on Twitter about that. People who have only just received their Shout Factory orders. I'm guessing that they got a lot of orders in over the course of their Shocktober sale, or whatever they called it. But we shall see. By the way, I put some coffee on in the background there. If you're... Wow, it's really just giving her out there in the kitchen, in kitchen land. So, yeah. So yeah, anyway, I've been kind of brainstorming a little bit about where I want to go with the Toxic Takedown series. I mean, obviously dealing with some of the elements of toxic fandom is a big focus there. But there's a few other YouTubers that I watch that I thought they kind of have a broader spectrum of topics that they cover. And I thought, well, we cover a pretty broad spectrum of topics on my live streams. Obviously with more of a slant towards fandoms and, geeky subjects and whatnot, gaming and TV shows and movies and horror and cartoons and anime and whatever. Comic books, of course. But we do talk about other things, just kind of things going on in the world, or just strange things that happen in the world of the internet that week or whatever. And a lot of the other YouTubers that I watch and enjoy seem to cover a broader spectrum of topics like that as well. Two that spring to mind, Some Ordinary Gamers, Mudahar. You guys probably have heard of him. He's fellow Canadian. Hey, Canada, represent. He does a mix of gaming content and kind of internet culture type content, and just general social commentary on things. And the other one would be Moist Critical, Penguin Z0. I really enjoy both of their content. Similar, they have different energy levels. Mudahar is very like, hey, how's it going? Very in your face, kind of, with the humor and just kind of laughing at the ridiculousness of the world. Whereas Moist Critical is a lot more laid back and almost hippie-like in his delivery. But I enjoy their content, and it's given me some ideas for sort of some directions I might like to go with the Toxic Takedown stuff as well, because there's quite a lot to talk about these days that I think would make for interesting videos. The trick was the hard part for me in doing those types of videos is remaining current, because you really gotta kind of jump on those trending topics while they're hot. If you do it like a week later, then nobody cares anymore. The memories are short on the internet. So, like, I had a big list of things I wanted to talk about with She-Hulk. Yeah, She-Hulk's been off the air for like 3 weeks, so it's done. not many people are talking about it anymore. So I could still do those videos, but then I just know half the comments are going to be, why are you talking about this? The show's over. Nobody cares anymore. Everybody's moved on. It's like, I got some of those comments on when I was doing the ones about Jamila Jamil's Twitter meltdown, alleged Twitter meltdown, which wasn't a meltdown at all, but kind of debunking the spin on that, and that was a fun series to do, and I really liked how it turned out, and everybody seemed to really enjoy that one. But I did have a few comments on there like, why are you still talking about this? This was like 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, sorry, it's so 48 hours ago. Like, sorry, I can't just pump out videos like crazy. So I was thinking of ways of kind of streamlining the production process a little bit so I could do those videos a little more quickly. And I think one of the ways I can do that is I noticed some of those commentator types kind of incorporate their streaming software into it, and that's certainly something that I could do. Is I could set up a scene layout where I could quickly switch between things on the fly and record segments of it through the streaming software, and then record the sort of bridging segments with the regular camera. So yes. Am I going to do more DVD and Blu-ray reviews? Yes, of course. Absolutely. Everybody thinks I've stopped doing those. I didn't stop doing them. I just took a bit of a break from them because I need to be in the right mindset to do those, because I don't want to half-ass them. So I am actually working on a new batch of closer looks, which is probably what you're talking about. I've got a big batch of them, about 20 or so, that are currently in the works in various stages of production. I just need to finish them up, and then they will be staggered throughout the schedule over the course of, I don't know, a couple of months or whatever. And that'll be that. Remember Adderley? Oh, with Ian McShane, right? Is that the one you're talking about? He was like, what is he, like an art dealer or something? But he solved mysteries. I actually do remember that. Or no, it wasn't Ian McShane. No, it wasn't Ian McShane. It was Nick Mancuso. That's who it was. Nick Mancuso from Stingray. Yeah. I always get I was thinking of Lovejoy, so I always get Adderley and Lovejoy mixed up in my brain for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I vaguely remember it being on. I never really watched. I wasn't really into mysteries at the time. It wasn't until I was a little older I started to get into mystery stuff. But yeah. But anyway, I am definitely. Yeah, Deadwood is one I really need to watch, especially being, having become a huge fan of westerns in my older years. That's definitely one I need to check out. I've heard it's terrific. Just dark and gritty. That's one reason I like spaghetti westerns, is they just kind of have this grit to them that I find a lot of the Hollywood ones don't. Some of the Hollywood ones do, like basically anything by Sam Peckinpah, you can count on some grit there. But a lot of the sort of Hollywood ones of the back in the day just seemed a little what's the word for it? Glamorized, I guess. Whereas the spaghetti western ones tend to be a little grittier. Also a little more uncompromising with the violence and sort of the subject matter, I find. They just kind of don't shy away from that stuff. But yeah, love me a good spaghetti western. Yeah, Wild Bunch. Yeah, classic Sam Peckinpah. That one's terrific. That was a pretty big like influential film, actually, in terms of on-screen violence, especially for westerns. Because westerns, you have all these people shooting each other, yet not a lot of blood. Yeah, Sam did not shy away from that. I have seen The Sopranos. I did a video about The Sopranos. You got to search my videos. There's a little magnifying glass there on my YouTube profile where you can search and see if I've done a video on a subject, and then you will know. But I've seen the first 3 seasons of The Sopranos. I still haven't finished it. I need to sit down and rewatch it and actually finish it this time. But and then there's that movie that came out recently. I forgot what it was called, but it starred James Gandolfini's son as a young Tony Soprano, and boy, does he ever look like his dad! Holy shit! Um, and that looked really good. So I really want to see that. I might even watch that before the rewatch of The Sopranos. You know, just kind of do that, watch the story in chronological order. But yeah, no, that's great stuff. Again, it wasn't until sort of later in life I got interested in kind of, you know, mob movies and stuff like that. So I didn't really see very much of them back in the day. But I did see The Sopranos. My dad was buying the DVDs as they were coming out, so I watched the first 3 seasons on his DVDs, and then another one we watched together, just, you know, a father son night. We watched Goodfellas when that first came out on VHS. I just rewatched that one recently, sort of to honor my dad who passed away earlier this year. So that was sort of my own personal little tribute. Had a nice steak dinner and rewatched rewatched Goodfellas for the first time, probably since we watched it actually. So that was great. Casino is one I still need to see. I've heard it's great, but I haven't actually got around to that one yet. And I still need to finish watching the Godfather movies. I've actually only seen the first Godfather movie, and even that I saw it for the first time quite recently. So yeah, I don't have the new cut of the third one that Francis Ford Coppola put out, but I did do a link for the new trailer. Okay, cool. Yeah, post that in the Discord somewhere if you haven't already, because I'm sure a lot of other people would like to check that out. We were talking about it earlier. Yeah, Casino. I didn't see that. I did see was it Bugsy? I think it was, with Warren Beatty, which was also about like sort of the rise of Las Vegas. But yeah, it was good stuff. The original Untouchables. I would love to see that with Robert Stack. Yeah, I did watch a bit of the one that came out in the '90s, and I remember liking that one quite a bit. There's a DVD set of that, which usually is quite affordable. I keep meaning to pick it up. It only ran, I think, 2 or 3 seasons, but it was really good. I forget who it was. The guy who was in it as Al Capone, I knew from from Dick Tracy. Actually, I think he played Flathead in Dick Tracy, and he was terrific. A really good character actor. And anyway, he played Al Capone in that version of the series, and I remember it being really quite good. So, Godfather 3 Coda was good, but I like the theatrical cut better. Okay. The Long Good Friday. All right. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot out there that I should check out. Too many movies, not enough time. But yeah, a few things I watched over Halloween. I did watch the new Halloween trilogy. That was fun. I actually enjoyed that. Yes, I even liked the third one. I know people are shitting all over it, but I thought it was fine. I kind of liked that they went in an unexpected direction with it. Also watched the new Hellraiser. That one was fucking amazing. I really hope that that's the start of a new series with that Hell Priest. Was it Jamie Clayton, who was fantastic as the female Hell Priest. Really, just very creepy and strangely seductive and intimidating screen presence. The 1990s, yeah, it's good. It came out in 92, I think. I seem to recall. Yeah, I watched it a little bit, a fair amount during its first season, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. But yeah, good one to check out. Boardwalk Empire, yeah, I've heard that's a good one. Yeah. Justified, yeah, that's another one I need to check out. Yeah. See, like so many shows and movies, and it's just like, when do you find the time? Yeah, Hellraiser was good. Also watched the new Munsters movie, the Rob Zombie one. I think we talked about that one in a previous YouTube stream. I liked it. I know a lot of people shat on it, but I enjoyed it. I thought it captured the essence of the old show quite well. actually. It was the same sort of silly, goofy, groaner humor that that the original show had, but it had this like really colorful look to it that to me was reminiscent of like old school Halloween specials and like those like carnival haunted houses you go and you walk through or you ride through it. It kind of felt like that, and I enjoyed that. Trick or Treat. Yeah, I always mean to rewatch Trick or Treat every Halloween. Some years I do, some years I don't. I didn't get around to it this year. Halloween night, we did a screening on Discord. By the way, everybody join my Discord because we do movie screenings there fairly often, movies and TV shows. So it was, what was it? We did a double bill of the 70s Tales from the Crypt, followed by the Vault of Horror, the unrated version, which I had never seen before. So a little bit more blood and guts in that one. And yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed both of those. Good old fashioned anthology horror, and all the stories in them are based straight off stories from the comics, which is pretty cool. So I really liked that a lot. Universal Monsters movies. Yeah, we watched a bunch of those. We watched what did we watch? I think we watched all the Draculas. We watched all the Frankensteins. We watched all the Invisible Mans. We watched all the Mummies. We were just about to do the Monster Mash trilogy, but then I was kind of burned out for a bit, so we didn't watch. We didn't get around to those. But we watched quite a few of them. I thought I just said my opinion on Halloween Ends, but again, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I mean, I don't know. People are getting all bent out of shape that it wasn't this big knockdown, drag-out fight between Laurie and Michael, but we got that at the end of the movie. Like, do you honestly expect that to be all 2 hours of the movie? Like, come on. So I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. And besides, I mean, Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills was your bloodbath chapter of that trilogy. There was so many people killed in that one. So, I don't know. It was like, I don't know. People get all bent out of shape over the smallest things. What is on my current... I don't have a watch list. I watch whatever I feel like watching when it occurs to me to watch it. So, the Criterion edition of Raid. I didn't know they actually did a Criterion, or maybe I did. I have the previous Blu-ray edition, which is fine as far as I'm aware. So, I still haven't watched it, actually. I did watch Taxi Driver as soon as I got it, though. That one was really good. But, what is this here? Also, it didn't help that kids are getting into Pokemon and Digimon. And losing interest in comic cartoons. Referring to the mid-2000s Teen Titans series, people still cling on to the hope it will get a new season similar to when Young Justice came back. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, honestly. Especially with Teen Titans Go being kind of the main focus for those characters right now. I don't see them doing both. Although they did do that one movie that brought both of them together. So we kind of got a continuation with that. But 13 Ghosts, yeah. The season of Chucky. Yeah, see, Chucky. I've only seen the first Child's Play. I haven't even seen the other movies, never mind the show. But if you only go by the Blumhouse timeline, Ends is actually Halloween 4. That is correct, yes. And this new canon is a quadrilogy. That is correct. It's, the fourth time they've rebooted Halloween. Third time they've done a soft reboot, which ties into previous continuity. The Rob Zombie ones, of course, were a complete reboot. But, so what's this? The Spider-Man episodes with Hitler and Red Skull are missing on Disney Plus, I'm guessing. I'm sure that the Region 2 DVDs I have probably retain those. As far as I know, nothing's missing from those. The new Creep Show? Yeah, that's something I need to see. I'm a big fan of the original movie. That was one of my sort of gateway horror movies when I was younger. I'm just gonna go grab my coffee. Sounds like it's finished bubbling away there. Be right back. I really hate how that chat box seems to be broken. It's driving me nuts. Yes, the Rob Zombie films, they took them in a very different direction. Again, very divisive, although people seem to be kind of giving them a second look lately, which is nice. I've always liked them. I mean, I think they're different, obviously, but people get too hung up on comparing them, I think, to the originals, and not just kind of taking them as their own thing, sort of like a different take on some of the core ideas. So I don't know. They're fine. I like them, and they got a great cast in them. I mean, we got Danielle Harris back, in a couple of Halloween movies, which is great after she got screwed over with Halloween 6. We got Malcolm McDowell, who I thought was a great choice for Loomis. Then we got Brad Dourif as the sheriff, and I thought he was fantastic. He's great. The original Texas Chainsaw. Oh. No, your messages are showing up, Gridman. It's the chat box is broken. It like piles up the chats and then barfs them all out. So, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to started watching Gotham again, going to get back to Pennyworth. I still have not seen Pennyworth. I saw a bit of Gotham when it first started. I'd like to see all of it one day. Malcolm McDowell is going to be at a convention you're going to next month. Yeah, see, so just watch that chat box, Gridman. You'll see it explode with the past several messages in a bit. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it just doesn't hook into YouTube quite properly yet. I don't know. It is strange. It is strange. Very strange. Oh, so apparently they're doing a trilogy set for Halloween, the new trilogy. And loads of, there they go. See? There they go. The chatbot is edging. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about self-control to maximize pleasure. The pleasure of the chat. Hey, Michael, you're a zombie, are you? Well, I'm kind of feeling like a zombie too, which is why I got some more coffee. Clockwork, is that the one with John Cleese? Durif's daughter has that creep factor in the most. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Fiona, right? Fiona Durif. Yeah, apparently she's making a lot of waves in the genre films lately. That's cool. There's going to be a third Rob Zombie Halloween called Halloween 3D with Taylor Scout Compton in the asylum and Tom Atkins as her doctor, although Rob Zombie wasn't going to direct it. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping HBO Max might make a sequel series to Gotham. Why? Why would they make a sequel to it? It's done. They told the story they set out to tell. The sequel would be called Batman. That's the sequel. Oh, Michael says, I read the script for that online and it's horrid. I remember Rob talked about how awful he thought the script was. It was written by Todd Farmer. Oh, Clockwork Orange. Okay, yes. Well, it's a wacky movie based on an equally wacky book. I have the book and the movie. I want to rewatch the movie, but I want to read the book first because I've never actually read the book before. I want to do like sort of a series of dystopian sci-fi reviews at some point. It's a project I've had in the back of my mind for a while. So ones where like if it's based, if it's something that's based on a book, I want to read the book. It's similar to how I was doing the Dracula and Frankenstein ones, where I read the book and then was talking about how the movies compare to the book. Same idea, but with dystopian sci-fi movies. So read the book, whatever it is, or graphic novel if it's based on a graphic novel, and then watch the movie or movies or shows or whatever based on it, and then just kind of do an all-encompassing review talking about all the different versions. So I think that'd be fun. But of course, doing something like that is a massive time commitment for preparation because I've got to read the book, all the time that takes, and then watch all the movies, especially if there's more than one. So it takes something like 1984 where there's like 6 different adaptations of it, and there's radio play versions, and there's a lot of different takes on it. Or Brave New World, there's a TV miniseries and a more recent movie adaptation. And that's that. Canada? What? Suncoast? I don't think so. We have Sunrise, but we don't have Suncoast. What I did like about the script was Brackett was pretty much a main character in that behind Laurie, and Todd Farmer had a lot of nods to Halloween 3 season of this. Tim Hortons is not only in Canada, not anymore. They've actually expanded to certain places in the U.S. So it's still, based in Canada, but there are several U.S. locations now. It has expanded. How did Michael come back in that script? Yeah, because I think in the in the movie, like it's like just all the police are there and just gun him down, don't they? It's just, yeah. Pulled a Halloween one and disappeared off screen. Ah, gotcha. Have had Sunrise Records, A&B Sound, right? Yeah, A&B Sound. Sam the Record Man. Yeah, A&B Sound, I seem to recall, I don't know if this was chain-wide or what, but I know when I lived in Victoria, the A&B Sound there ended up shutting down because they hadn't been paying their suppliers. So I noticed their stock of new releases was starting to dwindle, and they weren't getting a lot of like big notable titles in, and apparently the reason was they hadn't paid their suppliers, so they were being, they weren't allowed to order anymore until they paid off their debt. And then in the end, they ended up just shutting down. So they ran themselves out of business by being stupid, apparently. Sam the Record Man, however, that was huge. That was a massive chain. I don't even know if they're still around anymore. But I remember when I lived in Toronto, they had a massive Sam the Record Man downtown. They had, like, on the main downtown street, I was on Yonge Street downtown, which is like the big street where everything happens in Toronto. They had a massive, like, multi-floor Sam the Record Man. They had a massive multi-floor HMV right next to it. And then on an adjacent corner, they had a massive multi-floor Tower Records, which I think started as a UK chain, Tower Records. I don't know if any of them are still there, but that was that was like the main strip. So, and this was during the heyday of VHS and Laserdisc. So I used to get a lot of my Laserdiscs at Sam's and HMV, because they both had, like, just bins and bins and bins of Laserdiscs. And then they also had, like, a big anime section of, like, VHS titles on anime, so I would get some anime there. I remember they were carrying all of the Dark Shadows releases, so they just had, like, shelves of Dark Shadows VHS tapes. It was fantastic, yeah. Yes, I know, Gridman. I commented on it. I don't know how you missed it. I said, don't just PM it to me, post it for everybody. I'm sure everyone would enjoy seeing that. So we were looking at some screenshots earlier, comparing the quality to some of the previous DVD releases, and realized just how awful the 2019 release was. Just Michael getting shot by a bunch of cops. Yeah. Well, we know that's not going to go too far. I shot him 6 times. I shot him. I shot him 6 times. Tell the sheriff I shot him. I shot him 6 times. I love you, Donald Pleasance. Nobody could lose their marbles quite like Donald Pleasance. And almost every movie he was in, I remember my mom describing Donald Pleasance as he's that guy that always goes crazy by the end. And just about every single movie I've ever seen him in, that's true. He'll start off fairly, calm and level-headed, and by the end of it, he's, like, completely bonkers. Tom Atkins? Well, I mean, I love the idea of Tom Atkins in pretty much anything, especially genre films. So, But that would have been great to see him in a Halloween movie again, for sure. An 8-hour version of every Lord of the Rings film. Yeah. Well, I know Peter Jackson has been talking about doing an even more extended version of the trilogy. So, possibly. Holy moly, Brenda! Is this the same Brenda who loves the cooking
donated
videos?
$75. Been watching you since Rose was a baby.
Aww.
Hope you both are well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, bam! You just got us up to 35% on our goal in one fell swoop. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, Rosie popped in briefly at the start of the stream. She's passed out since, but she is now 15, and I guess 15 and a half. And just got a job. Yeah, gainfully employed. My baby girl. They grow up so fast. That's crazy. Well, thank you so much. And I'm glad you've been enjoying the cooking videos. It occurred to me, I do quite a lot of those. And they were going on to a Patreon exclusive stream for a while. And then I thought, why am I making these, locking these away under the Patreon exclusives? Nobody ever watches them. So I'm really glad that I made those, started posting them publicly, because it seems like a lot of people are enjoying them. So, so thank you. I hope to do many more. Basically, I do them just sort of spontaneously when we're doing that. Does Rosie work 4 hours a day? Well, she hasn't worked at all yet. She just got the job today. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's possible she might have some shifts that are, after school. I mean, she basically gave them what her availability is. So, I mean, probably primarily weekends, I would think. So, whatever. But yeah, I just kind of do those spontaneously during the live streams. It's like, I'm hungry. Let's go to the kitchen. So then we adjourn to the kitchen and make some food, whatever I feel like or whatever I have available that day. And that's that. And yeah, just try to have some fun with it and just kind of relax and chat with the folks and show what I'm doing, and that's that. So I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you very much, and thank you again for the big honkin' dono. I appreciate that. So. Hoping the Friday the 13th Crystal Lake series does well enough they could shortly after give us a Freddy series. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we keep talking about this, but I think Freddy's time is done. I mean, it's one of those cases where, like with Michael and Jason, anybody can play those characters because they're masked characters that don't speak. And it's more about the physical presence and the physical performance. But Freddy was so much the performance of Robert Englund as that character. Like, I don't know that can ever really be duplicated. So I just want to get like a nice proper deluxe set of the movies and the TV show and any extras they can put in there, and then just call it a day, and if they can sort out the rights, a nice collected edition of the comics would be great. My son Lego Ed Star Wars. Oh yeah, I think he watches my stuff too, doesn't he? I recognize the name. Just moved out on his own. Our babies are getting big. I know, right? It's crazy. Oh my God, Gridman, are you even hearing? Seriously, dude, pay attention. When you post something, wait for me to respond. For the third time now. Don't DM it to me. Post it for everybody so everyone can enjoy. And please, don't say that again. I am aware. Your messages are showing up. They've shown up every single time. I've responded to them every single time. How are you not picking up on at least part of this process? I mean, they show on screen. I explained the chat box is broken. Don't worry too much about this. It's like, see, it's still stuck on JL saying, "Oh boy." See, Thomas's comment didn't come through. Yours didn't come through. But just wait. Just pay attention to the screen. You'll see it go through a bunch of chat messages all at once. It's okay. It's just the chat box is fucky. I am seeing everything. Yes. Well, it's just... I don't know how much it piles up before it barfs out all of the messages, but it's been driving me nuts all day. Perhaps he's using a third-party app to view YouTube with censorship. I don't know. And it's censoring him. Well, no, because he would still see what's on the screen. Yeah, like, you guys all see the same thing on the screen, because that's going through me. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, for the fourth time, please post it for everyone, because I'm sure everyone would enjoy seeing that trailer. I mean, I figured the simple fact I was responding to you should be a clear indicator that I at least am seeing your comments. Anyway, do you think an adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's Mountains of Madness might... See, there it goes. Did you see that? There it goes. And there you go. So, If you can find it on YouTube, that's actually better than the Facebook links because it doesn't do thumbnails for the Facebook links. James Etalk might have something on his YouTube page. I'm just allowing an alternative scenario where it all makes sense. It will never all make sense. Sadly, they haven't uploaded it to YouTube yet. Just that teaser. Okay. All right. Well, there you go then. See, and like that one showed up right away. So I don't know what it's doing. It's weird. Lovecraft was from your state. That's cool. Yeah, I've read a bit of his stuff. I saw an interesting adaptation of the Call of Cthulhu that was done a few years ago, where a group of just independent filmmakers got together and they made it as a silent film. They basically made it as if it had been adapted into a film at the time that the story was originally published. So they did it all kind of in that style. As a silent film, and they had like a stop motion Cthulhu creature at the end and stuff like that. It was really neat. Hey, greetings, Harry. How's it going? Perhaps it is time-based, and long typers like me shows up when you first initiated typing. I don't know. Well, see, now it seems to be updating fine. But then it just occasionally gets stuck, and then it just goes haywire. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. Reanimator is the extent of Lovecraft I'm aware of. Plus his racism. Well, yeah. What else? No, there's actually been a bunch over the years. What was it? From Beyond is loosely based on his stuff. What else? Dagon. There was Dagon. Was based on one of his. Oh, there's oh, what the hell was it? There was a Vincent Price movie that's actually the earliest earliest film to be even like loosely adapted from Lovecraft. I forget what it was. I watched it recently. I forget what it was called now. H.P. Lovecraft's You're Drunk chat box, yeah. Oh, yeah, Color Out of Space. That's a recent one. Enjoying a quiet, nice night out. Very nice. Always good to get oot and abut. That's something I'd like to do, actually, is get my tablet kind of sorted, and then I can do sort of more mobile streams. The problem is the cost of data here in Canada. They don't really have like a sort of an all-encompassing unlimited plan. They have like you get a certain amount of gigabytes per week or per month or something, and then it like throttles your speed to barely functional, which is stupid. Like in this day and age, you should be able to just shell out for an unlimited plan, period. Call it a day. You know, like my wired internet is unlimited. It's been unlimited for years. Unlimited data. They used to have a limit on it, but they don't anymore. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm sure it's coming at some point. All right. Sorry, getting a little distracted by the Twitterverse. The Haunted Palace. Was that the one? Yeah, I think it was in one of the Scream Factory collections because I was watching. I was kind of going through those a few months back. I was just kind of in a Vincent Price mood, so I was like, hey, I haven't watched a lot of these, so I was watching all the Edgar Allan Poe ones because I hadn't seen most of them, and then I got to that one, and it was like, oh, it's like the earliest movie ever done, at least partly based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's where they were summoning some kind of ancient evil. Yeah, the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. I like offbeat stuff like that. Like for example, I loved the Banana Splits movie. I thought it was just a riot, and the practical effects in that are really fucking good. By the way, really enjoyed that a lot. I still gotta do a double bill of that with Willy's Wonderland. I think that'd make a really fun double bill. The killer animatronics double bill. Maybe we'll do that on the Discord. You guys be down for that? We'll do a double bill of Willy's Wonderland and Banana Splits. There is a Grinch horror flick. I wonder how the Dr. Seuss estate allowed that. Because the reason the Winnie the Pooh one can happen is because Winnie the Pooh just lapsed into the public domain. So they're able to do whatever the hell they want with it now. But I don't think that's the case with the Grinch. I think that is still very much owned by the estate of Dr. Seuss. So I'm kind of wondering what the deal is there. But yeah, interesting. What's this? Ironic you mentioned H.P. Lovecraft. I just listened to the Doctor Who 6 Doctor Big Finish story, The Lovecraft Invasion. Great story, by the way. All right, one of the last stories produced for the monthly range. Interesting. Yeah, there's so much in the Big Finish saga that it's just people get overwhelmed by just the main show of Doctor Who being so huge. Well, when you factor in the Big Finish stuff, it's even more overwhelming. Like there's all the main ranges and spin-offs, miniseries and side stories and one-offs and specials, and you need like a freaking roadmap just to make sense of all of it. But yeah, just get a story from each Doctor. Yeah, I think like for me, whenever I'm able to properly dive into those, I'm probably just going to start with all the Tom Baker stuff because he's my Doctor. So and I just can't get enough of Tom. Man's a legend. Yeah, the new Christmas story. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Looks like a proper sequel. They got pretty much all of the surviving cast back to reprise their characters and everything. So that's awesome. Yeah, Tom Baker's the bestest. Triple dog dare you, yeah. He went straight for the triple dog dare. Breaking protocol. Come on, where's the alert? I want to comment on Killbot's super chat. We're at 33.33% right now. Exactly 1/3 of the way. There it is, finally. Holy moly. Now 55.69. Nice. Got your Peter Cushing Doctor Who 4K Steelbooks today. They look awesome. I did not know they released that in 4K. I have the Blu-ray versions that Kino Lorber put out, which are basically they're the same transfers that were done for the UK releases a few years back. But yeah, I haven't actually sat down and rewatched them yet, but I have skimmed a little bit, and the quality is fantastic, yeah. David Tennant said he's coming back for a couple of specials. Okay. Well, what I heard was that they're doing 3 specials, I guess, all in November for the 60th anniversary. Or I don't know if it may be all over the course of the year. I don't know. But anyway, they're doing 3 specials. And I guess David Tennant's going to be in at least 2 of them. Oh, there it goes again. But that's cool. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Especially with David Tennant and Russell T Davies both doing the specials. I mean, they're both such fanboys of Doctor Who. You know that whatever they do, it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be full of fan service, and just be an absolute treat. So, and I'm willing to wager is gonna feel more like a proper Doctor Who anniversary special than Day of the Doctor did. You know, so yeah. Tom Baker was busy, possibly. Yeah, I mean. He's not doing like a lot of on screen acting these days. He's mostly just doing the audio stuff. He has been going like gangbusters doing those Big Finish audio adventures, and he's really doing it like as a treat for the fans because he knows he's getting up there in years and probably isn't long for this world. So he's basically said that he's doing like several. Oh no, he's like 80 something now. But he's basically doing just shy of 90. Yeah, he's getting up there. But so he's doing several seasons worth of Big Finish adventures in advance, like far more than what the other doctors are doing. And that was partly at his request. It's like, well, let's just do as many as we can in advance. So we have 12 seasons in the can. So whenever I pass away, there'll still be, several years worth of releases before you run out of them. And then he says, once you run out of those, have, what's his face? John Culshaw take over the Fourth Doctor Adventures because he does such a good impression of me. So that's the plan. So we'll be getting a lot more Tom officially and with a spot-on impersonation for many years to come. So lots more Fourth Doctor adventures in the pipeline. So, but what an absolute treasure. We don't deserve him, seriously. Like, what an absolute treasure that he's doing that for us, unappreciative fans. Well, I wouldn't say we're unappreciative. We love the man, but and funny enough, we just watched Vault of Horror for Halloween, which has him in it. He plays a painter. It's kind of a take on the Picture of Dorian Gray idea. He's a painter where he anything he paints will like he does a portrait of someone, and then disfigures the portrait in some way. That disfigurement will actually happen to the person who was in the portrait. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Which my starting point was mainly Doctors who didn't get much screen time. Yeah, that was kind of it for me, too. I think we started in a very similar place. I started, the first ones I listened to were Paul McGann's early adventures for that reason, because I always thought he made a great Doctor, but we barely got to see him. He's in like half of that movie. The other half is the, Sylvester McCoy and the regeneration leading up to it. And then a lot of it is him in like post-regeneration manic mode. And then finally, in like the last 20 minutes, we kind of really get to see him as the Doctor, properly. So we didn't really get a lot with him, So I jumped on with his adventures because I was like, well, I'd like to, I think he's awesome, but I'd really like to see more of his adventures. So I jumped on with his, and I thought they were great. They were terrific. So it's very well written, and I really liked his performance as the Doctor. And it's great that we've seen him on screen at least a few more times in recent years. With, of course, Night of the Doctor, which was just such a treat. And then, of course, his recent appearance with other past Doctors in the Power of the Doctor. But 8 and 9 are the elusive Doctors. Yeah, they kind of are, aren't they? At least with 9, we got a full series, but got a one series. What is my IQ? I have no idea. I'm sure it's decent. I'm sure it's at least bigger than my shoe size. I've never taken a test for it. I know I'm smart. But listening to Cannibal Corpse. Interesting. Yeah, the War Doctors. Yeah, the Fugitive. See, the Fugitive Doctor is one that I'd definitely be interested in for the same reasons. When I remember you and I also were talking about seasons that never were, like seasons that didn't happen, like the lost season 23, for example, like which would have been further adventures of the Sixth Doctor, which all got scrapped because they went with Trial of a Time Lord instead. So we've since had audio adaptations of most, if not all of those, as well as some season 22 stories that didn't see the light of day. So they made like their sort of pseudo season 23, which was actually quite a bit longer than that season would have been had they actually made some stories for it. And then what was it? Season 27. They have like the season 27 that never was, because they had a bunch of scripts in various stages of completion for that, which yeah, see, those are two I'd really be interested in. I've got like MP3s of some of them, but not all of them. But I'd love to sit down and give those a proper listen. But yeah, I could listen to Tom Baker all day long. Oh yeah, pretty much. I do have what ultimately led to him doing the what the hell is it? There it is. What ended up leading to him doing the Big Finish stories, which is the Nest Cottage Chronicles, which he does with what's his face, Mike Yates. Little Dusty. I gotta finish listening to this. Actually, I listened to. There's Hornet's Nest, Demon Quest, and Serpent Crest. Each one is like 5 stories, and Richard Franklin. That's who it is. Yeah. It also has Rula Lenska, and David Troughton is in this. Michael Jaston, Sophie Ward, Andrew Sachs. Yeah, there's some great voice talent in this. So anyway, he did these, and then met up with, I guess, Nick Briggs at some kind of thing, and Nick just kind of, nervously approached him and asked if he'd be interested in doing Big Finish adventures, and thankfully for all of us, Tom said yes. So he did. But this kind of opened the door for that, was he did these 15 stories, all interconnected in one big continuity. It's really good, too. Really good stories. And, yeah. What cast member passed away from Baker's series? Oh, it was Elizabeth Sladen, who played Sarah Jane Smith. Also, actually, Mary Tam, who played the first Romana, she passed away as well. She was doing some further adventures with Tom Baker, actually, as Romana 1. And they did one series, and then she passed away, sadly. So they retooled some of the scripts that they were going to do for Louise Jameson instead, as Leela. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. She did, I think, the first or second Tom Baker, like, 4th Doctor series that Big Finish did, and then she passed away. And then Sarah Jane, of course, was doing her own spin-off, which was great, but and she passed away in the middle of when they were working on Series 5. So, yeah, that'd be great, Michael. I think I have season 23 somewhere. I don't think I have season 27, though. But yeah. Some 4 and Sarah Jane's story. Yeah, exactly. They yes, it just ended up being the ongoing endless adventures of the Doctor and Leela, which is fine. I love me some Leela, you know. Yeah, so it looks like I think I have all of the season 23. That was 8 stories. I have up to the macros. So if there's any beyond the macros, I don't have that, but I have those. I have the Nightmare Fair, Mission to Magnus, Leviathan, the Hollows of Time, Paradise 5, Point of Entry, the Song of Megaptera, and the macros. But I don't have anything else. I think that's it. And then season 27. I don't even know if this is one of them. I have one called Thin Ice. And that's it. That's all I got. So anything else I'm missing? Oh, really? With Tom and Jeffrey Beavers? That's cool. The latter half of Leela's stories. Well, that was also when Graham Williams took over as producer. Um, so, yeah. Yeah. His era was a bit of a mixed bag, I find. There's some great stuff like City of Death and, City of Death and City of Death. Horror of Fang Rock is actually a pretty good one too, but that I've always felt like that's a leftover from Philip Hinchcliffe's era. So it definitely feels way more like a Hinchcliffe story than a Williams, you know. But yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, seasons 13 and 14 are just so consistently excellent. I don't think there's a bad story in the bunch for those 2 seasons. They were so good. Is Davros in other Doctor Who shows? Well, he's in quite a few different stories. I mean, he was ever since his introduction in Genesis of the Daleks. It seems like he was in every subsequent Dalek story until we got to the new era. When we got to the new era, it wasn't until a while later that Davros was reintroduced. But quite a bit later, I think, actually. Wasn't it like 11th Doctor, 12th Doctor? Can't remember, but it just seemed like the Daleks were Davros-less for a while. He did. Davros. I've listened to some of that, actually, and it's basically his autobiography. He's literally narrating his life story. And it's quite good. And it's Terry Malloy, I think, isn't it? So I know Michael Wisher was the actor who brought Davros to life originally. He was so damn good in Genesis of the Daleks. And then Terry Malloy took over as of I think it was Resurrection of the Daleks, the 5th Doctor story, and he's kind of been Davros ever since, at least in the audios. But yeah, he's in 3 more stories: 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctor. He's in all of those, and I'm pretty sure it's Terry Malloy in all of them. But yeah, he's an interesting character. And then, well, I remember the one episode of the 12th Doctor where he encounters a young boy on like a minefield or something, and he's trying to help him get through the minefield, and he says, "What's your name?" And the boy says, "Davros." And the Doctor just like stops. He's like, he just doesn't know, because there's only one Davros in the entire universe, so he knows that's him. And it's kind of an echo of the dilemma that the Doctor has in Genesis of the Daleks, where he's holding the two wires. It's like, do I have the right to change history? And it kind of puts him in a similar position. It's like, this is a young boy who has not yet become the evil Davros that I know. It's like the old dilemma, like if you encountered Hitler as a baby, would you kill that baby? It was an interesting kind of different take on a similar theme. But yeah. And of course, Peter Capaldi, just freaking amazing actor. So he didn't have to say a word. You could read everything the Doctor was thinking just on his facial expression. Speaking of which, still no word on a Jodie Whittaker set, eh? Like a Jodie Whittaker Blu-ray set, like a complete years set. That's something I thought we would have heard by now, because I remember when Peter Capaldi, his last one aired, they announced the set almost right away. The same with Matt Smith. So I don't know. Maybe they're waiting a bit. Well, folks, as usual, we've ended up just talking about Doctor Who a lot. So I think I might call it here, guys. Oh yeah, thank you. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. I think it was given to me as a Christmas gift one year. It's an ongoing joke that everybody thinks because I'm into the goth stuff that means I must be a massive fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I'm really not. I've seen the movie precisely once in my entire life. I thought it was okay. I'm not a big fan of musicals, so it wasn't really my thing. But yes, I liked the visual style of it. But I don't know, those who are less, I guess, less known, know less about the scene. This is what they think of when they think of goth. So that was that. So they just get me. So I have all of this Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise that people just keep giving me. So it's like, okay, sure, why not? Thanks for the thanks for the effort, at least. I appreciate you trying. But anyway. Or 4 does destroy the Daleks, but it causes the Time War to happen much sooner. Yeah, I think that's always been the common thinking, is that the events of the Time War kind of started with Genesis of the Daleks, because that was the first time the Time Lords sort of directly attacked the Daleks, as it were. So I've always thought of that as being the first event that set in motion the series of events that would ultimately lead to the Time War. Well, I would say another big one would be Remembrance of the Daleks, where the Doctor literally destroys Skaro. Yeah. So it's no wonder the Daleks were pissed off. But, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So anyone who watches Doctor Who and has only seen the new series and you haven't watched the old series, you're missing out. There's some great stories. Great stories in the classic era. One of the stories sort of retcons that the Time Lord who sent 4 back in time wasn't from Tom's future, but a Time Lord from the Time War. Oh, that's kind of an interesting take, too. That's definitely a big retcon. But, yeah. basically going back in time to recruit a past doctor to stop the Daleks before they start, and thus prevent the Time War. A desperate effort. Makes sense, you know. I mean, I don't think it was ever explicitly said where that Time Lord was from, but just sometime in the future. Anyway, I think I'm going to head off, guys. But if anyone would like to join us for the after party, we're going to head on over to Twitch. I'm going to do some more editing. I'm working on the editing for my Resident Evil 8 playthrough. It's not going to be posted on YouTube until September. So next Halloween. We're already working on next Halloween. I want to basically spend this year focusing on Halloween stuff for next year, so that we don't have another uneventful Halloween like we kind of did this year. So, yeah. The other British with the square head robot, are you thinking of... Hold on. Are you thinking of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? This robot here? Yes. Very good. Very good, based on the radio play. It did get a Blu-ray release recently. As remastered as it can be. It's very good. It's one of my favorites. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for coming out. Hope you had a good time. I'm going to try to do these chillin' chats on YouTube a little more often, because, well, I mean, we actually made more money today than I've made all month so far on Twitch. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I gotta go where the bucks are, right? And it seems like a lot more of you show up here anyway. I do these on Twitch and get maybe about this, actually. This is about like where we kind of top out on Twitch. It's around 20. It's usually more like 10 or 12. Whereas here, what did we have? Like 30, 40 people most of the stream. So it just seems to be where everybody is. So I got to go where the people are and where the bucks are, right? So I'm going to try to do these a little more often. I've been kind of thinking Sundays and Wednesdays, generally speaking. Might do a little more often. Might do like 3 a week, something like that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming out, everybody. Hope you had a good time, and we will see you next time. And for those of you joining us on the after party on Twitch, I'll see you there. I know at least a few of you will be there. Anyway, until then, until next time, until next time, in whatever form we meet again, thanks for watching, and sayonara.